Welcome to Lesson 8 of Building a Basic Website.
In the last lesson, we created the structural blueprint of your website using a wrapper and boxes floated within it. Our units were pixels. We told the computer exactly how wide everything should be, and sometimes even how high, depending on our goals. That's a method that works, but with the explosion of tablets, smartphones, and laptops with small screens, it doesn't leave a lot of wiggle room, because what looks good at 1,000 pixels on a desktop might not look so stellar on a small screen. Responsive design refers to the trend in web design over the past few years to use a more fluid layout that works better across various screen sizes. It comes from the idea that the site should respond to the screen it finds itself on, and to do that it needs JavaScript. While that's beyond the purview of our class, it's certainly not beyond your abilities, and I've linked to responsive design resources if you'd like to try it out. Still, responsive design can describe the broad concept of making your site friendly across different devices. There are things you can do without script to make your site work better for iPhone users, for the third of American adults who own a tablet, and even for a person who sizes their desktop browser window really small. One option is, instead of pixels, you can use percent as your unit of measurement. For example, instead of two boxes floated left and right at 500 pixels wide each, you could have each have a width of 50%. The percent is the percent size of the parent tag. You can even size fonts using these percent values. However, it's still wise to have an overall wrapper with a set minimum and maximum pixel size, say 480 pixels minimum and 1200 pixels maximum. The CSS properties for this are min-width and max-width. By itself, you wouldn't call this responsive design. You'd instead call it a fluid layout because it stretches in a fluid way depending on the size of the browser window. Whether you have a fluid or fixed layout, CSS additionally allows you to give boxes an absolute position in relation to either the parent tag or to the browser window. For example, the top bar on the page you're on was created using the position fixed property and value. You can follow along with the video below for the details of how the position property works.
You can add various properties in the head tag of your page that, with varying degrees of precision, identify and then change the display size of the window.
One is called viewport, and you can read more about that below. Another is to create a media query with a link. If the person viewing the page is on a certain device, it will automatically use a particular style sheet.
What I would do if I were you is not dwell too much on the technical side of responsive design, but instead think about how you can create a design that's sophisticated, but still easy to read visually, regardless of screen size.
The Boston Globe is a famous example of this strategy, and you can find many others, including our Moodle site. It's no coincidence that all three interviewees in the previous lessons have mentioned how
clean,
very simple design
is almost always best online. You don't have to have pixel perfect design for every device. You just need to make sure you're communicating effectively, regardless of the device your user is using.